A very good afternoon. Welcome to BBC London. I'm Thomas Magill. Cladding is being blamed as part of the reason for a fire spreading at a block of flats in Wembley. It's over a week since the blaze on Elm Road, and now residents have told BBC London they have no idea when they will be allowed to return home. Frankie McCamley has been speaking to some of them.
Marianne is being forced to move into her third hotel since the fire on her estate last week.
It's been really unsettling. We don't know what's happening. We don't know whether we're going to be able to come back into our flats. Different people will tell us different things.
Last Monday at around 4:30, a fire broke out on Elm Road in Wembley.
My daughter said, "Mum, I think something's kicking off." So at that point we went outside to have a look, and then we could see the flames. And what was happening was they were putting the fire out, but it was then starting up again.
While an investigation into the cause and the spread of the fire is underway, London Fire Brigade has said cladding was involved.
The firemen were brilliant, but it took, 120 firefighters just on a relatively small block. So, yeah, that could easily have been another Grenfell. And now, I think after so many days of reflection, I can see that, absolutely.
The local MP here has been campaigning alongside residents for the cladding to be removed along with other safety concerns. But he claims the freeholder, Octavia Housing Association, has been dragging its feet.
If resident safety had been your number one priority, you'd have taken the cladding off the building yourself, but you didn't. You spent 3 years arguing who was going to pay because safety of the residents was not your number one consideration.
A sentiment felt by others on the estate who say they've been complaining about water leaks, damp, mould, rats and cockroaches and want to sell now, but can't until cladding work is complete.
We are prisoners in our own home. It's just because Octavia is not letting us go. They're not doing anything about it. Even if Octavia goes ahead and says they want to start the cladding work, how long is it going to take to start the cladding work and how long is it going to take to finish it?
In a statement, Octavia has said residents' safety and well-being remains our number one priority, and we have provided them with temporary emergency accommodation, financial assistance and other services. It's urged anyone with any concerns about their property to contact them. But over a week on from this fire, these images are still at the forefront of residents' minds, with the fear it could happen again. Frankie McCamley, BBC London.
1,500 people have been evacuated from the Old Bailey and the surrounding area after a fire nearby at an electrical substation earlier this morning. 25 firefighters and 4 appliances remain at the scene. BBC journalist Jeremy Britton was in the building at the time and was asked to leave.
The lights started to flicker slowly on and off and then went completely dark. There was a blackout in court, which I've never seen before in my many years here. I was concerned for the barristers, some of whom weren't able to get out, and what we did, tried to use our mobile phones as torches to lead them out. It was fairly difficult to know what was going on, and there was a slight acrid smell beginning to develop as well.
Scotland Yard says it has saved tens of thousands of hours of police time through its new approach to dealing with mental health cases. It's 3 months since it introduced a policy called Right Care, Right Person. But mental health charities say they're concerned some people could be slipping through the net. Well, our health correspondent Carl Mercer is here. And Carl, these details emerged through an assembly meeting earlier this morning.
Yeah, that's right. We had a listen in, and remember this policy was brought in last November. The Met Police saying, look, we don't want to be going to too many mental health call-outs. It's taking up a lot of officers' time, and we will only go to the most serious cases. And what we learnt this morning, they say this new policy, as you say, has saved tens of thousands of hours, and they're actually detaining fewer people under something called Section 136. So it's gone down from 700 to 400. So they see it as a success. But as you say, some of the charities involved in the mental health field are saying, well, what's happened to those people when those numbers are going down? Let's have a listen to some of the debate this morning.
Every time you have 2 PCs who are off the road, detaining someone in such a situation like that, they're no longer available to take the immediate response calls that we need them to take. They're no longer available to police the demonstrations we need them to police. And more importantly, for members of the public who are affected by serious mental health, they're in a situation where they're being detained under arrest effectively by two police officers who are not necessarily best placed to care for them.
It is striking that we go from 700 136s to 400 136s in such a short period of time. I do wonder where those additional 300 people have gone, because those needs don't disappear overnight. And I guess that is the deep and profound concern that we have.
Some concerns there. Are they likely to be addressed?
Yeah, they have promised to talk more. I think that will be a good thing. But I think there were other concerns to be addressed, and that of funding, particularly for the NHS, because if the police aren't doing it, the NHS are doing it. They're saying we will need more money as we go forward with this.
Carl, thank you. That's our health correspondent, Carl Mercer there. Now for a trip down memory lane, and Bruce Grove station in North London has been given a makeover that pays homage to its Victorian past. Nikki Ford has been for a look.
A little bit of history lies behind this platform at Bruce Grove Overground, following a year-long renovation with a few surprises in store.
It's wonderful. I think we've been transported back in time to the late Victorian period.
Tim helped to oversee this project as part of his work with the Railway Heritage Trust.
Well, this reflects how the station was in the late Victorian period, a time when Bruce Grove was growing as a community. People would be commuting into the city, and they would have had exactly this type of waiting room. So they would have waited for trains here, kept warm by the fireplace, and sat on the benches waiting for their trains into the city. It's a beautiful colour scheme and works really well in this space. It's from the London and North Eastern Railway and reflects their period of ownership when they took over the station in 1923. So it's Buckingham green and cream colours, and they look really good in this room.
So this is the community space here at Bruce Grove Station.
There are 4 rooms they've brought back to life, including this as a community space.
What we want to do with this room is to make it available to community groups and residents groups to basically use to plan events, to have classes, to have a space that they can use to really bring the community together.
So what difference does she think it will make to people visiting the station?
At certain locations where we've seen higher levels of antisocial behaviour, having a community space like this has actually really helped in reducing the antisocial behaviour, because what it does is it allows for the local community to provide a space for classes and events and really just to bring that local community together.
It'll be open soon for everyone to enjoy. Nikki Ford, BBC London.
And that takes us to the weather with Corsa.
Hello, good afternoon. Well, it's been an unsettled couple of days. Today, though, it's been largely dry. A lot of cloud around, as captured here by one of our weather watchers in Greenwich, but there'll be some brighter spells too. But overnight tonight and for the next few days, low pressure is dominating our weather and bands of rain will arrive in, bringing some wet and windy weather for a time. But for the rest of this afternoon, it should be largely dry. There'll be some spells of brightness, some hazy sunshine and cooler than it has been in recent days, highs of around 7 to 9 Celsius. Staying dry as we head into this evening with some clear spells, allowing temperatures to fall quite early on to low single figures. But by the end of the night, thicker cloud and outbreaks of rain edging in from the southwest. It means there will be a lot of wet weather to come for tomorrow morning, and the Met Office has issued a yellow weather warning for this reason across many central and southern parts, valid from 2 o'clock in the morning on Thursday till 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday. There will be some drier interludes, but a lot of wet weather, potentially 15 to 25 millimetres accumulating. Becoming a bit drier by the afternoon, though, with some brighter spells and a little milder. And looking ahead to the next few days after that, well, staying unsettled, outbreaks of rain around. It will be breezy at times too, and the temperatures back up to double figures. That's it for now.
Now, before we go, the Make a Difference Awards are back and we are looking to celebrate those who have gone that extra mile for others. If you know someone who you think should be nominated, then go to our website for more information. That's bbc.co.uk/makeadifference. Alice will be back at 6:30. Until then, have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.